Hello, this is Pat Walker at MissionWinners.com, and we're making a video for everybody of an analysis of the leading stocks in the top 10 groups. Now, I have to share something with you that's very important. This is a fact. Through the research through the years, they've pointed out at Investors Daily and also at MarketSmith that stocks that have a composite rating of 90 or higher normally outperform other stocks. And I can show you the research. I've got the articles from years ago, and it's the truth. So when we're doing this and we're constructing screens, it's very important. Instead of looking at every darn stock in the group, look at the stocks that have the numbers as far as relative strength rank, accumulation distribution rank, and composite rating. Why not stack the deck in your favor? I made a long video, over 10 minutes, 10-minute long video earlier this past week, pointing out that in previous rallies, stocks with higher composite ratings dramatically outperform stocks with lower composite ratings. So why not look for the best of the best? So this is what I'm doing for you. This list of stocks I'm going to go through in the top 10 groups, all of these stocks have a composite rating of 90 or higher. All of them. All of them have an accumulation distribution rank of either A or B. All of them. Now you have a statistical edge that you can use to your favor. I just wanted to share that with you. So let's go in here. I'm going to slide this graphic in here for you. Here are the top 10 groups this week. You can take a look at them. Take a look at the name. You can pause it if you want and take a screenshot of this. All right? These are the top 10 groups in order. Biotech's first. And I have to share this with you. Just want to pause for a minute. This is important. Always be aware of this. Biotech's the number one group. And there's some great stocks in that group that are moving. But always know that at any time, a news story can come out on a biotech stock and it can get killed out of the blue. I've seen it through the years. Now, am I telling you not to buy biotech? No, I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying be aware that one news story can blister a stock. I've seen it up close and personal. I'm not knocking people that buy biotech. That's not the issue. I'm just saying be aware of the risk. That's all. And there's risk in all stocks, okay? Just be cognizant of it, all right? So there we go. So here's the top 10 groups. Now I'm going to slide this out and we're going to look at some of these stocks. Here's the first stock, Vertex, VRTX. Nice base, all right? Stock's got an earnings per share rank at 97 and a composite rating of 99. Looks good, looks nice. And they're making money. It's a biotechnology stock that's making money. And you know what? That's real nice to see. Here's the next one, HZNP. This has been mentioned in Investors Daily. Going sideways, has a nice shelf here. This stock has a composite rating of 94. Now, last quarter, their earnings, they lost money, okay, 64 cents a share. But the revenue growth is good. It's got an earnings per share rank of 65 and a composite rating of 94. And it's near highs. So there you go. Oh, also have to tell you this. This list that I put together is a screen that I made, all right? I was in the beta test group for the original MarketSmith product. This is a screen that I developed so that you can find, using the stratified tactics that we discussed as far as composite rating and accumulation distribution rating. These are the leading stocks in the top 10 groups. Here they are. Here we go. So, HZNP, nice shelf for what it's worth. Here's the next stock on the list. Demira. It's a biotech stock. Now, they don't have earnings, but last quarter's revenues were up 999%. You can't get much higher than that, can you? Look at the volume that came in here. Here's why. Tender offer. I do believe they're being bought, okay? So that's something to check into. I'm not saying they are being bought, but it looks like they might be being bought. And yeah, Eli Lilly might be making a move for the stock. All right, be aware of that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just It spikes up on that news. If the news isn't right, it could drop too, just for what it's worth. So here's the next stock on the list. Xenon Pharmaceuticals. All right. Xenon, they're not making any money. Okay. Last quarter's sales were $3.5 million. Lifted through here. All right. It's a biotech stock. There you go. Nice base, had good volume. But again, it's biotechnology. Just be cognizant of that. And again, it's a leading stock and a leading group. I'm doing this for you. Here's the next one for you. DBVT. All right. DBV Technologies. And gapped up here. Now, right here, you see this gap up? That's not on earnings, but they do have good earnings. Their earnings were up 191% last quarter. So that's constructive to see. It's got an earnings per share rank of 76, but it's hanging in there. All right, that's a biotechnology stock, DBVT. You can see there's no real pattern here to buy it now, but maybe there will be in a couple of days. Just be aware it's biotechnology, okay? Can't stress that enough. Here's the next stock, PFNX. All right, PFNX, it's Phoenix is the name, PFNX. And this is a biotechnology stock that is making money. Last quarter's earnings were 126%. Sales were up 327%. That's good. That's good. Leading stock in a leading group. And again, they're making money. They're making money. All right. So there you go. But it is biotechnology. Just be aware of it. Continue onward. Insight. Insight Enterprises. Now we're in the next group. Electronics. Wholesale electronics. Earnings per share ranks 86. Composite ratings 97. Fell on a pickup in volume. All right. The trend is up. Is there any entry here? Again, this is the number 2 group. Is there an entry on this stock at this point? No, but it is in the number 2 group. All right. Something to be aware of. The next stock, Synex. Okay. SNX. Wholesale electronics. This pop-up here was on earnings. They had earnings. Has an earnings per share rank of 94 and a composite rating of 99. That's good. That's good. Is there an entry on it right here? You tell me. Is there? No. I mean, it gapped up on earnings. Perhaps in a couple of days it'll form a little shelf here and it can march upwards. But at this moment, there's no clean and simple entry. The next stock on our list, excuse me, is Race. Ferrari. This is in the number 3 group, auto manufacturers. And it's got an earnings per share rank of 90 and a composite rating of 95. That looks good. Now, I talked about this in last week's video. What is the negative in this chart? A lot of gaps. A lot of gaps. Gap. Gap up, gap down. Gap down. Gaps up, gaps down. Gaps up, gaps down. Gaps up, gaps down. I'll stop because I don't want you to get mad. But you see my point. There's not a lot of rhythm in this chart. Perhaps it'll go sideways and lift through these tops. But even here, it gapped up and closed in the bottom third of its range on the day on a pickup in volume. And it has an accumulation distribution of B-. Just stocks like this, they're great when they go, but boy, they can catch you the wrong way too. There's just not a lot of rhythm there. Be aware of that. The next stock is in the semiconductor group, Integris. This stock has a composite rating of 97, so that's good to see. Gaps up and backs off a little bit. Okay? Is there anything really special with this? It's got an earnings per share rank of 81. Last quarter's earnings were up 9%. It's not the stuff that dreams are made of. There's nothing really there at this point in time. As you can see, there's no pattern for entry. Form Factor. Excuse me. Form Factor's in the semiconductor equipment group, and it's just going sideways. It has a composite rating of 93. Is there a clean and simple entry here at this point? And the answer is no, not now. Maybe in a couple of days there will be, but at this point in time there's not. Last quarter's earnings were down 15%, so it's nothing really special, all right? And again, the composite rating is 93. Cabot Microelectronics, semiconductor equipment, going sideways here. Taking a look at this. Their earnings last quarter were down 30%. Their sales were up 78%. But is there an entry on this at this point in time? No. And this right here, folks, that's a bad bar. So this bar right here, that's a bad bar. Be aware of that. Those are serious. Maybe it's going to turn the corner here, but is there a clean entry here now? No, there's not. Something to be aware of. Excuse me. The next stock on the list is Jabil. Jabil. Now, it's going sideways. Nice shelf here. They're looks like they're being bought, all right? There's an offering on them. They're being bought. In fact, what I'm going to do is, can I put the note on here? Let's see if we can squeeze that animal in here. There we go. There we go. If I could type on a Saturday night, life would be easier, wouldn't it? Being bought. So you can take that off the list, all right? That's, common offering. I don't think there's anything we can do with it. So let's move onward. The next stock's NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Hang on a second. We had one here that got messed up. Jabil. Bear with me. No, Jabil is not being bought. It's the previous one that's being bought. Let's go up here and see what we got here real quick, okay? Bear with me. My apologies. I want to do this right. There we go. AXE is being bought. AXE is being bought, which is why I didn't put it on the list. My mistake. I am sorry. Jabil is not being bought. That was a mistake, so I corrected it. Here's Jabil. Here's the chart. They're not being bought. Okay? It was AXE, which is why I didn't put it on the list. Jabil. Earnings per share ranks 92. Composite ratings 99. Looks fine. Going sideways. Accumulation distribution B+. Note the chart. What do you see here, folks? You see a nice flat base. Look at the price and volume. Had a volume pickup. Perhaps it will go across these tops right here, across this line. And if it does, and the market's good, it could be bought. Jabil. Here's the next stock on the list. NVIDIA. This is a max list stock also. Had a little shelf here. It gapped up, ran up, closed near its lows of the day on a pickup in volume. All right? Still looks fine. Last quarter's earnings were down 3% and revenues were down 5%. So there's nothing really special with it here except this. It is in a leading group and it is a max list stock. And it has an accumulation distribution of A-. So there could be something happening with this perhaps next week. We'll see. Advanced Micro Devices is the next stock. We're in this down here. And we've been in it. Had a nice lift right here. Moving up. Got close to about a 25% gain on it at one time. So looks fine. The trend is up. Now, let's talk about this. It's got good numbers. It's got an earnings per share rate of 38. But last quarter's earnings were up 38%. Composite ratings 91. Lifted right through here. Look at the volume pickup when it lifted through here. I'm going to do a great lesson for y'all. I do this for the VIP members all the time. Coaching. Going sideways. You can say, oh, that's a clean and simple line. I'm just connecting the highs here and here. Gosh, I guess if it takes out that line on volume, that'd be possibly a buy. Maybe we should look for it. Boom. Folks, look at the volume pickup. I always say this. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted. They voted. And there you go. And since then, it's had a nice lift up. Let it work. Would I buy it here? No, there's no entry. There's no clean and simple entry. Don't chase stocks, by the way, okay? I'm encouraging you. Please don't chase stocks. Focus on clean, tight entries. It increases the odds you can get a good lift off on it, just for what it's worth. Cirrus Logic. Good group, all right? Electronic semiconductors, all right? Going sideways, looks good. Has a composite rating of 96. Now, there's an entry here. Now, look at the chart. It's trending up the 8-day. Is there a clean and simple entry here? No, there's not at this point in time. But maybe there will be. But it's a leading stock in the top 10 groups. Continue onward. Lattice Semiconductor. All right, that's also semiconductor fabless. Going sideways. What do we like about this chart? That it lifted up on heavy volume. That's really important. We like that. Now it's going sideways. Perhaps it will form a little handle right here and take off. then that would be nice. You can see this. Now, here's the weekly, so you can see that. And I'll refresh this. Hold on a second. I love teaching this. Here's the weekly. And again, I was an IBD meetup co-leader for 12 years, so I'm firmly ingrained in all this. Love it. Look at the volume pickup. That's nice. So, something we could possibly watch and see. Maybe it'll form another inside day, form a little handle, and take off. So, we'll be ready for it. It has an A- accumulation distribution. Earnings per share ranks 98. You can't get much better than that, folks. Composite rating is 97. Next stock on the list is IPHI. We own this, all right? And you can say, why? Well, look at the base. Last quarter's earnings up 50%. It's got a composite rating of 98. Relative strength was leading the stock in a new high ground. And I even put this on here. Earnings up 50%. And again, we bought it right there, pushing through here. Look at the volume pickup. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. The previous day, the stock did, I'm going to round up, okay, 330,000 shares. On this day, 1.35, almost 1.4 million? Boom, they voted. Leading stocks, leading groups. There you go. Here's, oh, by the way, I'm going to go back to this. I'm in a pullback here a little bit here on Friday. I'm not telling you to buy this right now, okay? This is just an analysis of the leading groups and the leading stocks in the group. That's all right? It's not like, oh, buy it here. I wouldn't buy it here. If it's your first purchase, no. Spot to buy is here, not here. Please be safe. Don't chase stocks. Microchip. Earnings per share rank 70. Last quarter's earnings down 9%. Last quarter sales down 7%. It's got a composite rating of 93, but it does show some accumulation in here. Look at this bar right here. Now you can say, Pat, that's a bad bar, and you're exactly right. It is. And this is a decent bar. Going sideways. Is there a really clean entry here? No, there's not, but it is in a leading group, and it's one that bears watching. Okay, semiconductor manufacturing. Next stock in the list, diodes. All right, going sideways. It has a composite rating of 97, slowly grinding up. There was an entry here. Okay, see the volume pickup? Look at look at this bar. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Look for patterns that everybody can see. It increases the odds that you'll find a good one. In leading groups, is there anything here? Not really. It's extended. All right. There's nothing at this point in time. Here's the next one, Cogent. This is in the group number 10, and you can see it's going sideways. It has a composite rating of 95. Has an earnings per share rank of 97. Look at this. You want to see something cool? Watch this. I love this. Going sideways, you can see, oh, there's clean tops there. If it goes across here with volume, that'd be good. Oh, there's a pickup. Boy, it got close. Boom! Gaps and goes. Is that neat? You think we're the only people in the world that look at simple chart patterns? No. Leading stocks and leading groups. Earnings per share rank 97. Composite rating 95. Relative strength was near new high ground when the stock lifted off. And it's doing this. Just kind of marching on up. There you go. Now, are you saying buy it here? No, I'm not. This is group number 10. Anyway, this is the kind of research we do, and then we give stock ideas. We go far more in depth with the VIPs as far as our list because we have other screens that we run that are stringent that come up with great stocks too. But I want to share this with you. Folks, this is for everybody, the whole free world. Just, if I had to encourage you of something, it would be this. Focus on the leading stocks that have either great earnings and or great sales, that have a good accumulation distribution rating and a good chart, and that are in leading groups, and no low price stocks. If you do that, you will dramatically increase your results. Find a clean and simple entry that everybody can see, buy it on a volume surge, let it ride, limit losses, and ride trends. Sell a little bit into strength to guarantee a profit, and then let it work for you, trending up the 20-day, the 8-day moving average. And the 50. Just let it go. Let it run as long as possible. Where's the top? Nobody knows the future. All we can do is ride it. So thank you very much, and I hope you're all having a good, safe weekend.